Welcome back to the All Things Everything podcast presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Sabrina.
And this is episode 13, my favorite number of all time. So I think it's going to be the best episode that we've ever had. That's just the way that I'm thinking about it. I don't think that there's any other reason why, but just because this is the 13th episode, this is going to be our most successful episode ever. And today we wanted to talk about a few things. We wanted to talk about our most recent competition, what we plan coming up for competitions, and then, of course, the biggest thing coming up is Thanksgiving. We did a Thanksgiving recipe that I'll let you talk about a little bit, but go ahead and start it off. Just let everybody know, how did we do this past weekend when we competed in Killeen, Texas?
So, let's see, I got to look back. So we got, we did thighs and wings this time. We went away from the half chicken. We actually got a 14th chicken, which really isn't that bad for us. We got a 15th place ribs.
Mm-hmm.
We got a 15th place brisket and a 28th place pork.
Mm-hmm. Now, just because I do want you to talk about it a little bit more than me, but I did want to bring up the fact that the scores were very high.
Yes.
So our chicken score was 194. And just for you guys that are out there and don't know about CBA scoring, 200 is a perfect score. So a 194 in chicken is actually a really good chicken score. A 196 in ribs, which is an excellent rib score. A 188 in pork, which is not ideal. You want at least a 190, but it's also not horrible.
Right.
And then we got a 192 in brisket.
Yeah.
So, all in all, those are high scores, actually. Those are like pretty high scores. And we scored, I believe, around 770 or 769.
Yeah, we got a 17th overall.
Yeah, we got a 17th overall. But to be 100% honest with you, I mean, it's not like I'm just completely okay with it at all. But it's definitely, I mean, the scoring overall for the event was pretty high. Right. And I'll let you talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, to put it into perspective for everybody, chicken, there was tied first place scores.
Mm-hmm.
So one was a perfect. The other one was just regular perfect. So what that means is a perfect means all 6 scores were a perfect score, 10s across the board.
Yep.
Whoever got second place, their 6th score, whichever one was dropped, wasn't a perfect score.
Yeah, so in CBA, they'll drop your lowest score.
Right.
Right? So 6 judges will judge your food. You'll have 6 scores on your card. The lowest one is dropped. So it takes the top 5.
Yes.
All right, so that's why she's saying that, just for anybody that doesn't know.
Right. So first place chicken
mm-hmm.
and second place chicken both had 200s.
Yep.
Right? And I'd have to pull up the score sheet and look at it to see what the other placings were. But if you think about our chicken was a 194, so 14th place. From 14th place all the way up to that, second and first place of 200, there's only 6 points in between, right? So there's, in between 12 people, there's 6 points.
Yeah. And the other thing is, we also won our chicken table.
Yes.
So what that means is we went up against 6 other people on that chicken table. So there are 7 of us on one table. Mm-hmm. And we beat everybody on the table. What's up, buddy? So, oh man, what was I saying? I don't remember. Oh, no. Okay. So we went up against 6 other people. There were 7 people on the table, and we beat everybody on our table for chicken, which realistically, we couldn't have done any better on our table. Obviously, we could have gotten a higher score, but we did beat everybody on our table, which is always the goal. Win your table, and then let the rest fall exactly the way that it's going to. So, again, I'm sorry that I know I'm cutting you off, but
No.
I just want to make sure that we're putting in these little details. And we're not making excuses. We're just telling you how it went. I think overall, this contest scored super duper high. 7 people in this contest scored above 777. Which CBA puts out a post every week for people that score above 777. That's a very, very, very good score. That's why they make the post. And there was 7 people in just one contest. We scored a 769.70. Mm-hmm. So, again, it was really tight. it might sound like we didn't do that great, but our scores were pretty good. And again, I just wanted to throw that little detail in there about the chicken. So we did win our chicken table. Anyway, keep going. I'm sorry.
Right. And with ribs, another 2 people tied for first place again. One was a perfect. The other one was just perfect. But the last one was not. Their score that was dropped was not. So, and then we got 15th with the 196. So you think about that.
High score.
4 points. Just like a 4-point difference from third
15th.
place to 15th. You know? And then pork, my gosh, 4 people got
Perfect
perfects.
scores.
So they 4 people scored a 200. So you think about that. I mean,
pork was also 187. I'm sorry, I said 188, but it was 187.
Oh, okay.
187.56. My bad.
So, I mean, even think about that. 28th place. So from 28th to 5th, we got 187. So it's 13.
Mm-hmm.
So 13 points from there to there.
Yeah.
You know, brisket, no one got a perfect.
No one got a perfect.
But we got a 192.
Yep.
So you think about from 15th place and up, 192. And what was the highest score in brisket that day? Because obviously it wasn't a 200.
Let me see. I don't remember who got first place brisket. Do you remember who got first place brisket?
I don't.
I see a 197.86.
Right, so that's only pretty much 5 points from first place to us, 15th place. So, yeah, the scoring was very, very high.
And very, very tight.
Yeah, very, very tight. So you think about it, looking at the numbers, any other competition that we would have, possibly GC'd, reserved.
For sure.
But that's the hard thing about scoring like that is that we don't know, okay, did we, in any other competition, will we have actually done those scores with that same food?
Yeah.
Or were they just being very generous?
Honestly, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I think they were just being very generous because I've never seen that many perfect scores in a competition ever. Now, and this is not to take anything away, but there was also a perfect score in the kids queue, which I've never seen. So there was a perfect score in the kids queue, and then there was 8 perfect scores in the adult categories, which is just insane.
Yeah.
So I think they were being very, very generous. Do I think our food was good that day? I definitely do. And that's the hardest part, man. I had some people actually, I didn't tell you about this. I had somebody message me on Facebook saying, man, I can visibly tell that your food is good. I know people might think that sounds crazy. Again, he told me this. I'm not telling myself this. He told me I could tell that your food is good. I have no idea how you're not winning a lot more than you already do. And I told him straight up, and I said, man, it's just how it goes. It's a game. We're trying to play a game. I mean, sometimes people just have better flavor. There's a lot that I've heard out there before about if you're in a small town, people see really good looking food. They know it's a comp guy who does it all the time. They'll blatantly give it a bad score because, hey, that's not my friend. I know my friend doesn't cook food like this. They don't necessarily know who their friends is. It's a game. And honestly, I'm not even mad about it. We're choosing to do it, right? If anything, it's our fault. That being said, Chicken Fried Barbecue got second place. LC Barbecue got third place. They are some of the best cooks in the world right now. Literally. Right? So, if it's a game that's made for you to fail, how are the top guys placing well?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I always think about. Because there's a lot of people that have told me, like, man, there's no way your food's not hitting harder, this, that, and whatever. And don't get me wrong, I for the most part agree that we cook really good food, but like LC's out there kicking butt all the time wherever he goes. So, I mean, he just knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Bill just knows what he's doing. And I'm not trying to say that our food wasn't good. I understand the scores were really, really high, but I like to try and look at us rather than the other things that are stopping us from winning. Like, realistically, I sincerely did think everything was really good.
Yeah.
I thought that, it's just a horrible, horrible thing to say out loud, but like the last 2 weekends that we've cooked and we've gotten our butts kicked, we turned in food that I thought could have won the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think our ribs have been outrageous, which actually our ribs this week, we almost got screwed.
Yeah.
Our bones were so crooked, I couldn't do anything with them. But instead of getting mad, in this, I'm not even trying to be cheesy, I'm pretty proud with how we did it. We didn't let it get to our head.
Yeah.
It was not going good, and you know it. It was
Yeah.
just like, holy crap, all these bones. Like, if you can see in the camera, like, I'm talking, they were, like, hooked like this.
Yeah.
It was the worst bones I've ever seen.
And that's because that first rack was, during the trimming process and we examined what
Looked
we
good.
have, it looked good. They looked straight.
We were calling it number one all day.
Right.
We were like, this is number one.
Yeah.
Because we thought that everything was going to be golden. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we got it. We got it done. The texture on all the ribs was really good. The flavor on all of them was really good. We felt confident with the turn-ins. And, a 196, again, I can't really ask for much more than that.
Yeah.
I really can't. That rib hits top 3 anywhere else pretty much all day, every day with that score. I understand, again, they were being generous, and I do think they were being a little generous, but it's just the game we play, man. I mean, we decided to do this. This is our hobby right now, and it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. And, I think one of the things about what we do, we post all of our pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
And, the general consensus is that, our food looks good,
Mhm.
right? But, I mean, when it comes to competition, there are people who just, no matter how confident we are, no matter what the majority is, there's going to be a few people who just don't like it, like our pork.
Yeah.
Somebody left us a comment on the appearance that said, and what did they give us, an 8? They
They gave us an 8, yeah.
Yeah, and they said, I'm sorry, but this just does not look appealing to me.
Yeah.
And that, not necessarily the way we placed it in the box, but it could have been like the sauce or the way the food looked. I don't know, but they straight up said
We
this
did
does not look appealing. Now, they turned around and gave us a 10 on flavor and a 10 on texture. So, but that just goes to show, no matter how good everybody else thinks our food looks, no matter how good we think it looks, there's going to be people out there who just don't agree with that.
What's crazy to me is, and I promise I'm not trying to be that person, a lot of our boxes just don't even look, do they look bad? No, but I don't think they're as great as some people make them sound.
Right.
I think the thing about you and I, well, I'll talk about myself, right? But the thing about me for sure, and you know this, I'm super anal, like super duper over the top anal. Like when we used to live with my parents, how many times did we just move our rooms around just because I couldn't stand where the stuff was?
Oh, and I'm like that now because of you.
Yeah. I'm serious. Like there would be times when I was like, the computer would be facing one way for 3 weeks or a month, and I'd be like, I can't do this anymore, and I have to move it. And I would just start moving the whole room like by myself.
That's what I just did with the kids' room.
Yeah.
Felt the same way.
My point is that we are very, very anal about a lot of things, and like I promise you, those brisket boxes that a lot of people are say perfect 10s, I can find issues with them that I would fix.
Even this past weekend, our brisket, I didn't think the box was as good as I would like it to be. There was only 5 slices of flat, and that's because one of the slices was just falling apart. And
super duper tender.
Yeah, and I just thought visually I could see that in the box, and I didn't want to look at it. But so we took it out, or I took it out. But
yeah, I didn't like 5 at all. I thought it looked horrible.
Yeah, I didn't
honestly.
Because I like things symmetrical.
Yeah.
I don't like things abstract at all. I like it to be symmetrical, and we have 12 burn-ins in that box, and then to have 5 slices, like that kills me. But it was just like a split-second decision where I'm like, you can see this crumbling, like this isn't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's you don't know which decision was the right one to make until after the fact. And I still don't know if that was the right decision or not. I think both were bad.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it was a right or wrong decision. I just think the box didn't look good no matter what. So, and I didn't have time to explain it to you, but one of the things that I did also kind of want to talk about is the way that we boxed our brisket. While I don't physically do it, I had, large input this past weekend. And I explained it on Facebook. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll talk about it right now. But basically what we did with our brisket box was we put the 5 slices and then we had 12 burn-ins in there. The first 6, we put it to where you could see the bark up. You could see the sauce and everything. And then the other 6, we laid them against the piece of flat right behind it. And you could actually see the face of the burnt ends. And it looked kind of, not really, but kind of like
Okay.
a slice of brisket. My goal this past weekend, again, I didn't have time to explain it to you, but I was just telling you, like, hey, flip them. You know, I don't know if you remember, like, I was just like, hey, just flip them up.
Yeah.
My goal in my head was to get the judges to grab one of those piece of burnt ends because I thought they were incredible. You what, buddy? Sure, buddy. My goal was to get those judges to grab one of those burnt ends, and I thought if we could fake it, make it look like a slice of brisket, they might be inclined to go after it.
Right.
And so I just think that that's one of those fun things about barbecue is that, like, I randomly thought of that in my head, like, man, I want them to taste these burnt ends because these burnt ends are delicious. Let's flip them over. Let's flip them up and see if we can't fake them into it. And then I posted that picture, and a lot of people were talking about, all the judges will go for burnt ends, which blew my mind because I'm like, well, that's opposite of what I've always heard. But
Right.
we'll leave that discussion for another day. If you guys want to go look at that post, I say go ahead and look at it. There's some good comments in there. There's some perspective from a lot of competition cookers where they're telling us, that if burnt ends are in the box, they are getting eaten. If they're not in the box, obviously they can't eat them. But if there's burnt ends in the box, the judge is going for those burnt ends. So I think that that's very interesting. It doesn't change anything for me because we always cook burnt ends and we always
That's what we want.
and we always try and cook burnt ends. But yeah, anyway. So overall, obviously we didn't do great when it comes to the placing. We felt confident. We scored high. I mean, what can you really do?
Yeah.
We want to give a shout out to Austin Bittner. He is the gentleman that put on the event out there in Killeen, Texas. And I'll tell you what, the trophies, the event, everything was incredible. You know, woke up, there was hot coffee out there for us. They had donuts for us. They were being super duper amazing. The facility that they had was nice. The parking spaces were nice. We had plenty of room. So shout out to Austin Bittner and his team of whoever helped him put that event together. Shout out to Laura Caldwell. She was the CBA representative there. She does a great job every single time we go to those events. I really, really, really love. It's weird because I like going to a lot. I like going to Rhonda's events. I like going to Laura's events, and I like going to Brenda's events. They do such a good job. Like, let's see, how long did it take Laura to have awards and everything done?
Oh shoot! So brisket was turned in at 3.
And we were doing awards by 4:30.
Yeah. They said be at awards, but between 4:15.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it was 4:15.
Now it
And
didn't
so,
get
like-
started till like probably 4:30 because and that's because they had to rush to go get those extra like confetti cannons and
Yeah.
stuff.
But again, just a shout out to her. Shout out to Austin. Everybody did an amazing job this past weekend, and man, we're just it's incredible to see the types of things that go into these events and the people that dedicate a lot of time, money, effort to doing these things. So just shout out to everybody that was involved. I am tired of not hearing our song at events. So we got to get our act together. We are going to, when's our next competition? Do you know?
So December 9th,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and we're going to Angleton.
Yeah. So originally we were going to go to the Briscoe,
Right.
and that was like the plan for a while.
Mm-hmm.
A while to go to the Briscoe. But recently I saw a post. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago?
Like a couple days ago.
So a couple of days ago I saw a post from Rhonda Pfeiffer. She's one of the CBA representatives we just talked about. She's a friend of mine on Facebook, and she shared a post. And the post was, come out to Angleton, December 9th. It's for a great cause, whatever. So I'm like, great cause. Kind of caught my eye. I clicked on it, and I found out that this competition in Angleton is going to have 100 teams. There's already 88 signed up as of yesterday, so it could be 100 already. And the entry fee is toys. We're donating toys to children. It has to be up to $175 worth of toys as your entry fee. And I just thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
And I literally texted you, and I was just like, hey, let's call an audible, and let's not go to the Briscoe, and let's go to Angleton. And you literally said, wait, but that's the same weekend as the Briscoe. Like, aren't we going there? Like, that's always been the plan. And it was really, really quick and easy for me to make the decision. Well, not that I made the decision, but like, I want to go to Angleton because I want to donate toys to kids even if we get our butts whooped again, I mean, that's amazing.
Yep.
And we're also going to do all the jackpots too, because those are also toys for entry. So you're going to make mac and cheese. Well, I guess we're kind of going to collaborate on that one because I have to make a protein and you're going to do the mac and cheese, and then you're going to do Santa's breakfast.
Yep.
And then, was that it?
Steak.
Oh, steak. And then steak. So again, like, we're just going to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
We're going to go and hopefully go take a bunch of toys.
Right.
And one of the things I'm going to try and coordinate within the next couple of weeks is finding a way to get extra toys from people. So we could take just a few extra. You know, if somewhere locally can, I don't know how we can do it, or even just tell people like, hey, bring them to our house, or I can meet up with you somewhere. You know, if you're in the Corpus or Portland area, I want to take as many toys as possible. We are still going to donate our $175 worth of toys. Anything extra, we're just going to take over there with us to donate for these children. So I talked to the promoter, and he was telling me that a lot of the times these young girls and boys, ages 13 to 15, they get forgotten about.
Right.
Because the younger kids get Barbies and bikes and stuff like that, but these kids that are a little bit older, but not like so old where they get forgotten about a lot.
Right.
So if anybody is out there listening and they're considering maybe bringing us a few toys to take to this event, man, think about that. 13 to 15-year-old boys and girls, what's something that they like? If you have a 13 to 15-year-old kid, son or daughter, just ask them, hey, what's the cool thing right now? Obviously, don't go try and get like an iPad or something crazy, but I think for me, it was just an easy decision, and it really, I truly want to go.
And
I truly want to go.
That really goes back to the last podcast, and one of the questions that somebody asked was, how do you decide, which competitions you go to? And that's definitely something that drives us.
100%. I had Rini and Kevin call me yesterday because I guess they saw my comment. They're like, bro, you're not going to the Briscoe? Like, you're not going to the Briscoe? And I get it. I get what they're saying because, like, the Briscoe is supposed to be one of the best comps in Texas. But, man, I'll tell you what, when it comes to anything kid-related, like, we have 3 kids that we love more than anything. I love my kids so much. I love them so much. Like, I couldn't imagine them being in a position where, like, they couldn't get Christmas toys or something. Like, and we've even talked about it already. Like, our goal this year is to not get so many toys because we want to give them stuff that's a little more sentimental, that has a little bit of meaning behind it. Not just hey, like, because the kids sometimes, like, they're kids. They're not doing anything wrong. They'll open a catalog and they'll be like, I want this and this and this and this and this.
It's not even stuff they're going to play with or actually like. They just see it and they just want to circle.
And then by the end, the whole book is circled.
Right.
But we really want to try and give something to the kids that has a lot of meaning. And I just couldn't imagine being in a position where we couldn't give that to our kids. So I understand that there's kids out there that need the help, and we're going to do what we can. And hopefully win a barbecue contest at the same time. So I know we kind of talked about that contest a little bit, but you said that we're not going to be at it until December 9th. Right now, it is November 15th. That's almost a full month.
Yeah.
So why are we taking a break?
Well, I mean, we've got Thanksgiving.
Yep. Yeah, so, first things first, on the day that this airs, it's your birthday. Right? So
yeah.
We were going back and forth on if we were going to go to Traders Village or Lake Jackson on your birthday, but I think we just we decided against it. We'll stay at the house and have some fun with the kids and do whatever. I know you're down to go.
Oh yeah, I don't care, but no, yeah, the kids are like,
yeah, no,
party?
Yeah,
Where's
no,
the
for
party?
sure. I mean, first and foremost, we need to take care of family, right? Always. And the kids, they get a lot more excited about our birthdays than we do. So we're just going to stick back and hang out with the kids, enjoy your birthday, do something fun. And then, of course, the next weekend is going to be the weekend after Thanksgiving. And we're going to be hanging out with family all weekend, stuff like that. We just didn't feel like it would be right to leave town just in case, anyone's around and we need to see people or whatever. And then the weekend after that would be December 2nd. To be 100% honest, I don't know why we're skipping that weekend, but
recital. The girls have their ballet recital.
I'm lying. So yeah, the girls have a ballet recital. So we're just not going to be able to go for 3 weeks. in those 3 weeks, our goal is to get our trailer looking a little bit nicer on the outside. So we're going to try and get it, nicer on the outside. I'm not going to say anything else. Hopefully I can show you guys. But we like our trailer. I know it's not the prettiest or the best thing in the world, but it works for us. We're okay with it right now, and we're gonna use it probably all next year too. And when we want to, we'll buy a different one. We'll buy something, I don't know, but our trailer is doing awesome for us right now, and we're gonna fix it up on the outside. So hopefully you guys can see that soon. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about today as well, since we told you guys how Killeen went, and we're not competing until the 9th, that we did film a rotisserie turkey video, and that went out on Tuesday. So if you haven't watched that video yet, go back and watch that. I can sincerely, without a doubt, say that like this is the best turkey I've ever had.
Yes.
Because last year I thought we did it. We chicken fried a turkey, and I was like, we did it. We did it. There's nothing better. This year that turkey was much, much, much better. We'll talk about the recipe a little bit. I mean, what do you think of the way that we did it? I mean, what do you think of the seasonings we used, all that stuff, the brine?
So, I mean, I love the rotisserie. I mean, I freaking will bring up the rotisserie
all the time.
Yeah, all the time if I can. I love it. I mean, because we love rotisserie chickens anyway, and it's really, really cool when you get the attachment and you can do it yourself. I mean, you can put, especially if you're doing chickens, because a lot of people won't do a turkey. If you're doing chickens, you can fit 2, maybe 3, depending on how big on that rotisserie. Probably just 2.
Yeah,
at the most.
Probably 2, to be honest.
Yeah, but I love the rotisserie attachment a lot. I think it's really cool that if you have a kettle, I mean, it'll fit on your kettle. But anyway, the seasoning, one of our favorite ways to get a rotisserie chicken is the lemon pepper. And we've really been enjoying our lemon pepper / citrus pepper. If you go to our website, we do have the lemon pepper recipe, and at the bottom it shows you how to substitute for a citrus pepper. But I really love the lemon pepper. I love the rotisserie. So I thought that was a great take on a traditional Thanksgiving turkey, especially because I'm not the biggest fan of turkey. So one thing I liked about it is it had more of like a roasted chicken taste to it, and not a Thanksgiving turkey, if that makes sense.
100%. It tasted like chicken. It really did. I don't even know how else to explain it. It tasted like chicken. So we want you guys to watch the video. So go back and watch it. But I will say that we used Malcolm's bird brine. Yeah. I mean, the flavor on it is insane. The moisture retention was impeccable. Just go watch the video. You can 100% see it on camera, the moisture retention in that turkey breast. It was out of this world. But if you guys have a rotisserie attachment, consider trying it this year. Yes, this year. Yeah. For your Thanksgiving turkey.
And it was fast.
An hour and 28 minutes. We finished a 13-pound turkey. I know that's a smaller one, but those taste better anyway. Yeah. You know? And cook one in the rotisserie and cook one on the smoker. Yeah. Or something, you know? Yeah, but man, it was amazing. A lot of people cook 2 if you can't find a big one. I mean, like mom and dad are cooking 2 and ham at their house. So you know what I mean?
Right. And one of the things I really love about Malcolm's brine is that it's very similar to just a basic brine. A lot of these, there's a lot of poultry brines out there, especially that we've seen from a competition perspective. But Malcolm's brine is more like a very basic brine, and it's good. So it's
salt, sugar, peppercorns, a couple of other things, but it's just a very, very good brine. You're absolutely correct.
Perfect for I always brine Thanksgiving turkey. I won't necessarily always brine like any bird that I'm cooking, like a chicken. Yeah. But the turkey I always like to brine for Thanksgiving, and that's a good one to get.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, go ahead and watch that video. And we're going to try our best to probably put out a short in between now and Thanksgiving that'll be Thanksgiving themed. I know we have not been doing shorts at all. And, we apologize about that. But with this little break, we're really hoping that we can tackle a few of them. Yeah. And really man, sometimes we watch our old shorts and I'm like, dude, these suck. Like, this was trash. Like, why would we? But again, when you're trying to learn how to make content while making content, it makes it really hard. And we're still learning how to make it. But it's like, gosh, why would you put that out?
And hindsight is 20/20, right?
100%. And, some of our stuff was just so slow. The pace was slow. We're trying to figure it out, everybody. And we thank you guys so much for being with us on this ride. But
and it's been a while since we've done them. So just the amount of growth since then.
Dude, we haven't been doing shorts at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just focusing on long form content. But, we need to change that. And we know that. So about halfway through the episode, we wanted to start talking about Thanksgiving. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Thanksgiving is coming up. That's the biggest topic right now. So we wanted to talk about Thanksgiving sides, or just Thanksgiving in general, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So today I posted on Facebook, we are filming a podcast today. Let's talk Thanksgiving. What are your favorite and not so favorite side dishes? Any other questions? Ask away. So I thought it was really cool to see the perspective of the way that people like to eat their Thanksgiving dish. So I want to ask you, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
Ooh. Does this include dessert, or is dessert separate?
Side dish, babe.
Side.
Okay, how is side?
Pumpkin pie is a side dish because it's the side to the whipped cream.
No, pumpkin pie is not a side dish. No, that's a dessert, so it has to be a side dish.
Okay. I would say my favorite has got to be. It's a tie between green bean casserole and the sweet potatoes.
So I think it's funny that you said green bean casserole, because there was somebody that said here earlier, anybody who doesn't like green bean casserole is a communist. And I was laughing so hard because why was I laughing so hard? You can tell them.
Because you don't like green bean casserole.
I don't like green bean casserole. I don't like green bean casserole.
No, you're not a fan of the cream of mushroom.
I'll try it this year again.
Hey, but I think it was last year or the year before, there's a recipe on our website for green beans. So if you're not a fan of green bean casserole, these green beans are like one of our favorites. And I would say it's probably, it could be green bean casserole. It depends on the green bean casserole and who makes it. I don't like the whole mushrooms in it a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But yeah, those green beans, it's green beans, tomatoes, onions, bacon, and you season them, and those are really, really good. So if you're not a fan of green bean casserole, that's a good substitute.
So, I'm looking at the comments right now, and Chance and his mom said the dressing is their favorite. What's your thoughts on dressing? Do you like dressing?
So,
and if you do like dressing, do you want the box, like the stovetop, or do you want like a homemade one?
See, that's the thing. I grew up on the box, was it stovetop stuffing, which I love. I mean,
that's the red box, right?
Yeah, and I think it's good. I mean, that's something that we grew up on, those boxed foods, right? So we always kept those in stock, even when it wasn't the holidays. So I like those, but I have one recipe of homemade stuffing that I did maybe a couple years back, which I do like that one because it reminds me of the boxed one.
Yeah.
But stuffing's not usually the thing I would go for, especially because my stomach's small, right? So I'm trying to be strategic about what I'm putting on my plate because I know I'm going to get full fast.
Yeah.
So, stuffing's one of the ones that I might leave out if I have to.
Yeah. So for me personally, if I'm looking at a Thanksgiving side dish, I mean, dude, I'm going to be completely blunt with you guys. This might get a little bit of backlash, but I'm not even a Thanksgiving, this.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on Thanksgiving anyway. I'm really not. I do love turkey breast, but it has to be cooked properly. I, of course, love macaroni and cheese.
Ooh, yeah.
I love mashed potatoes, corn, great green beans, but my favorite would have to be broccoli cheese casserole. I really like broccoli cheese casserole.
Like with the rice?
Yes, with the rice. Broccoli cheese rice casserole or whatever. I like that a lot, for sure. Now, also, I really enjoy sweet potatoes. Obviously, it's kind of we eat it like a side. It's kind of like a dessert. It's really sweet. But also, I love sweet potatoes the way you make them when we make them here at the house, because we make them not a lot, but, pretty often.
Yeah.
To where we make them more savory, where you actually cut them into cubes, and then you get them nice and soft, and then you'll toss them in the pan with a little bit of oil, with a little bit of butter, and then Southern Belle. Oh my gosh, those are like so delicious. So I really like sweet potatoes, but broccoli cheese casserole definitely has to be my favorite, 100%. So we got our side dishes out of the way. When it comes to the meal itself, what is your perfect plate? What's your perfect plate?
I want to go back though and see what are some other side dishes that people mentioned, because so growing up we had the stuffing, green bean casserole, sweet potatoes. Back in the day, my mom and my sister liked like the yams, like the candy yams.
Yeah.
Macaroni, rolls.
Yeah.
Sometimes corn.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you want like the cranberry sauce or something, but what's some other sides that people enjoyed?
So okay, green bean casserole comes up a lot here. Mm-hmm. Now I will say, other than that, mashed potato, stuffing, like they're pretty common. But the one that stuck out to me was from Brian Lee. Collard greens is always a must-have at Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So I do like mustard greens. I think they're probably similar. I like mustard greens the way Miss Toy makes them.
Yeah,
they're just out of this world. I could eat a whole bunch of those, like a whole bunch. And the other thing, like Danielle, she put corn casserole, so I'm really interested in what that tastes like, because, and again, I've said this plenty of times, but like I'm Hispanic, growing up in a Hispanic family, like we always had a pretty normal Thanksgiving: rolls, mashed potatoes, corn, gravy, turkey, ham, green bean casserole, broccoli casserole. I mean,
deviled eggs. That's another one.
Yeah, but
and your mom makes like those peas.
Does she?
She makes that.
Somebody put green pea salad. Somebody put green pea salad.
I think that's what it is. I don't think I've ever really eaten it, but your mom always makes that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, other than that, there are some people that mentioned cranberry sauce.
Yeah,
but there are some people here that were mentioning a homemade cranberry sauce, which on my lunch hour today, I actually watched a bunch of people make, and it looks like it's pretty simple. I was kind of throwing around some ideas in my head on how we could make a cranberry sauce. A lot of people are throwing sugar and or brown sugar in there. I was thinking in my head, man, how could I do this with Southern Hospitality? Probably would need a whole bunch of Southern Hospitality, like a full cup or something like that, but maybe we can make it. People are putting a cup of sugar into...
Yes, but a cup of hospitality?
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe.
I would say like a little bit of hospitality, and then you have to...
But my goal
to match.
But my goal would be to use only Southern Hospitality. That's what I'm saying. I'm like playing around with that idea in my head. But either way, let's get back to the topic. What is your perfect Thanksgiving plate?
So I go a little bit of turkey breast. I like the ham probably more than the
turkey.
The turkey most of the time, but it just depends on how it's made. But you gotta have separate plates. So like I like my sweet potatoes separate because I like with the marshmallows loaded and everything, and I don't want it to touch anything. But the rest of the stuff I don't mind touching, but I gotta have a good bed of mashed potatoes and gravy with the turkey, because I like to eat those together. If there's corn, I like to mix those together and eat them. Mm-hmm. And then a heaping pile of green bean casserole. Make sure you have some rolls, which typically deviled eggs, you've already eaten them before anything else. And then I think, I mean, if there's room, I'll go for the stuffing. But I mean, I'm sticking to those.
Basics. Yeah.
Right, because I know I'm going to fill up pretty fast. So
no, that's cool. I mean, that's a good plate. I mean, I'm definitely turkey breast, mashed potatoes, corn, and a bunch of gravy and a bunch of rolls. That's, I don't know. I'm just super big. But again, I don't really like.
Right.
I'm not really a huge fan of Thanksgiving dinner anyway. That's just the unfortunate truth.
Yeah. Oh, and macaroni, because I'll usually bring the macaroni every year, and I like the recipe that we do.
Speaking of macaroni, Sid tells us that we need to do a macaroni recipe.
There's one on our website.
Well, probably a video. So we'll do a video. Like I I hate to say it, that I don't think very many people are going to our website to look at recipes. Ours
Yeah.
are way outdated, and we need to fix those.
But
That's a different conversation.
This is the time of year though that people are going to be searching. So if anyone is out there looking for some side recipes, we do have some. Go look back on our videos. We have one. We have a video for our corn. What is it? Corn. The heck. We just talked about it the other day.
Creamed corn.
The creamed corn.
Mm-hmm.
We have deviled egg recipe. We have our video and recipe on our website. On our website, we have the macaroni, the green beans.
Yeah.
We have a recipe for rolls that is very, very good. Homemade
Yeah.
rolls, if you want to tackle that. But yeah, we'll have to do an updated, because this macaroni recipe I make frequently for the kids. I make it, at least once a week, and I'm pretty confident about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good macaroni. So
no, it's a great macaroni. It's a great macaroni for sure. So we'll do a short on that.
yeah.
And we'll get that out hopefully pretty soon. The last question that we had that I thought would be cool to talk about was from Zach Smith. Name some family traditions for your family during the holiday season. So I think the first one for me that comes to mind is we always do the gingerbread. We always do the gingerbread house, making a gigantic mess. It's horrible.
But what I like to do, which I think we started maybe a couple years back, is I'll do sugar cookies. So we'll do the gingerbread houses, but out of sugar cookie.
Yeah. So we don't go, well, when we first started this tradition, we went to HEB and we would buy like that little Wilton box, that Wilton kit box. Not anymore. You make the cookies yourself. And it's not gingerbread. It's like sugar cookie. So we like it. Obviously, we like that a lot better. We think it tastes better. And yeah, the kids go to town. We spend probably 2 hours doing it.
Yeah.
We have a good time. We throw Christmas music on. Just like literally when we're done with this podcast in the next 25, 30 minutes, we're going to be at Walmart. We're going to be buying some stuff to make the house smell like Christmas. And we're going to start, it's not Thanksgiving yet, but we're going to start putting all of our stuff up. And I think our tradition, really our biggest one, is the gingerbread house or the cookie bread house, but also just decorating the tree and picking the tree together is like, even Penny was asking me like, Dad, do they have the trees yet? The trees yet? So we really, really, really love doing those things together for sure. And other than that, we don't have any major traditions. I would say that's our biggest tradition that we've been doing for, years now.
Well, and typically what we'll do is on my birthday is like, that's what I like to do is like, either if we haven't started, we decorate. I like to go to dollar store, look at some Christmas stuff. And we'll
the dollar store is not the dollar store for our family because we end up spending $1,000. It's the $1,000 store.
Yeah.
Because somehow their kids want everything. It's like, oh, this is $1, this is $1, this is $1. Yeah, and it's like $1,000 later.
Yeah, and for a while there was $1.25. Or is it still? I don't know. Even know. But yeah, it adds up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But no, I'm giving you a hard time. It's all fun. This is our favorite time of the year. Straight up.
Baking cookies is one that we really, or at least me and the kids really, really like to do.
Yeah, no, you guys do a lot of that during the holidays. So
yeah, one thing I really liked that I started with the kids on Penny's first year of kindergarten is we'll do a little Christmas party for school. So we'll make like foods from around the world. So like one of the things is like in Japan, the traditional thing to do is like order fried chicken from KFC. Yeah. So like the one year we had like all the foods from around the world.
The Yuletide stuff and the KFC. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. And that's cool that you implement those things into it for sure. Man, I just thought of something in my head that we do all the time, and I just forgot about it. I don't know what made me forget about it, but maybe it'll come back. But as far as the traditions, I know what I was going to talk about. So this year, we started a new one with our family, and we're going to be doing Secret Santa amongst the kids, and then we drew names for gifts amongst the adults. So I was talking to my sisters maybe a month. I don't know. I don't remember when I told you. And basically what it boiled down to was, hey, look, we're all older now. I'm 33. They're older than I. And we're all in our 30s or 40s. We don't need to be buying each other gifts anymore. Everybody focus on your family. We can do something fun amongst ourselves. The kids can do Secret Santa. We're still going to get all the kids gifts and stuff like that. And let's try and focus on Christmas being a little bit more than just gift giving, because you and I have gotten caught up in that a lot. Not that it's a bad thing, but we always try and buy everything for the kids. And then it gets to where it's like, is this really what it's about? You know, we've had this conversation before, and this year we're going to do our best to make it more about what Christmas is really about.
Right. Well, and then it's hard because Penelope's birthday is Christmas Eve, right? And then Piper's birthday is in
January 12th.
Right. Yeah. So it's like back to back to back presents, you know? And so we try to find things that can, you know, make it different, where it's not just about buying toys.
Yeah. And again, I think that it's one of those things where we're blessed. I'm grateful that, you know, we can go get the kids the toys they want. You know, they circle everything on that dang book. I mean, for years and years and years, we've just been getting those things. But this year, we just wanted to take a step back and say, like, hey, look, there's a lot more important things than just to pick everything out of this book. So our new tradition moving forward is to try and be very, very personal with our gifts, and not so much just like hey, Dad, I want this. Okay, son, here you go.
Yeah, because they get toys year round.
Yeah, it's Christmas every day for these kids. Yeah. You know, but no, I mean, all jokes aside, seriously, I mean, because, man, they're great kids. They're great, wonderful, amazing kids, and we want them to be brought up and just know, like, that that's not what it's about, you know. So that's going to be a new tradition for us this year, is to do that within our family. And, of course, we're still going to do things with, like, my mom's side of the family and all that stuff. But, yeah, we're starting that new tradition. So we're really excited about that. We're excited for Thanksgiving for the most part. You know, we're going to go over to Mom and Dad's and do that, and hopefully have some delicious food with our family and friends, and just be thankful for everything we've got. If you guys have anything that you're thankful for, drop it in the comments down below. I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for my mom, my dad, you, my sisters, for health, and just for all the good and bad that we've got going on in our lives, because these types of things make us who we are, right? Even if it's a negative thing going on, like, I'm grateful for it. And that's why I'm trying to look at things a lot lately, is we got our butts kicked 2 competitions in a row, but what is it doing for me mentally? It's getting me strong, because, man, I tell you what, like I was telling you the other day, we were on a high, right? Back-to-back GCs, bunch of subscribers on YouTube, bunch of seasoning sales. We're at the top. We're going to make it. And then it's like, oh, let me kick you, and then kick you again while you're down. 28th place, 17th place, you know, the subscribers slow down a little bit. It's still doing great, but it's just very, very crazy how things can happen, you know? And I think it's a constant reminder that for me, I always got to keep the right things in front of me, right? Because you can always put things in front of you that are, like, wrong. Like, oh, not as many subscribers, not as many sales, we didn't win. But instead, those things can be behind me, and I can focus on the big things, right? Like, we're still growing, and we're still growing at a good pace. People still love what we're doing. I get messages all the time. Like, hey, I got a message from some guy today. He's like, hey, man, if you ever want to come compete in Sydney, Australia, I'll hook you up. You know what I mean? Come on, man. That's amazing. And so we're doing great. We're able to do this, which is the best thing. So, yeah, I'm grateful for that, and I'm thankful for all that. So, hopefully, everybody has a great Thanksgiving for sure. And then we got Christmas to look forward to.
Well, I want to take a few steps back here, because we didn't talk about this Thanksgiving desserts, because to me, that's the most important part.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, by then, I'm so jacked up already, I can't even. I mean, I'll eat them, but I like the Oreo pudding.
That's why I strategize.
My Oreo your Oreo pudding is my favorite.
Yeah.
I have to have, like, at least a bite of Oreo in every bite.
Yeah.
I love it, though. It's delicious. And yes, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. The desserts are very important for Thanksgiving, and you take care of a lot of, if not all of, the desserts.
Yeah, and I've cake decorated for a very long time, but that's like, I like making other things, like things that I really like to eat. So like, I love baking pies.
Yeah.
So and I love my pumpkin pie with like 10% pumpkin pie and 90% whipped cream.
Yeah.
And then I've got to have warm apple pie with ice cream.
Yep.
And I like a good crumble topping. I'm not a big fan of lattice, like the dough on top. I like the crumbly crumbled topping. And yeah, I love pecan pie, but that's not really one that we make typically because not a lot of people eat it or ask for it. So I won't really make that. And I don't make sweet potato pie either because, I like the sweet potato casserole. But yeah, we'll make that Oreo pudding, which is typically just like chocolate pudding, and it's got Oreos and whipped cream and all that. That one's really, really good. And it's an option that the kids really like. They like to help bake the pies, but they don't like to eat them.
Yeah.
And then the pumpkin cake is really good. But typically, I don't really know if everyone eats that.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily make it a lot.
Yeah, I'm just not a huge. Maybe that might be why I'm not like so huge on Thanksgiving in general. Is because by the end I feel so awful. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I feel awful, and it's a horrible feeling.
Well,
it's a horrible feeling.
That's the best part, though.
It's the worst feeling. I'm just kidding. I was actually trying to cut you off there on purpose. Sorry. I was just waiting until you started talking, and I just kept going. I was pulling a dad, or my dad, on me.
But because a lot of the times no one eats the dessert, and then you take it home.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. We always come home with way too many desserts, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Jackie Milligan actually, and I was trying to open it back up. That's why I was looking at my phone. She actually, and I can't believe I didn't mention it before because she actually posted one of her favorite things for Thanksgiving is Crown Royal apple cheesecake and bourbon pecan chocolate pie. And she posted 2 photos of them that I want us to put up right here. Hopefully she's okay with us using them. She posted them on our Facebook page. Jackie Milligan, these look incredible. They look so good. So if you guys don't know who Jackie is, she is one of the cooks for Team Chupacabra. Her and her husband do it together. I think she's the head cook. I'm pretty sure she is, but she is just a great cook in general. She does a lot of stuff with Sam's now. So I'm her friend on Facebook. Yeah, she does like a lot of chef stuff with Sam's. So like, you know how when you go in there sometimes and there's like a chef cooking in Sam's and stuff? She does that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Yeah.
And like we only competed with her, I think, one time at Danny Dietz, and she got RGC.
Is that the only time? I thought we've been to another one where she was.
Have we?
Yeah.
Maybe we have, but she just always does good. She's a great cook.
Yeah.
She's a great cook. So shout out to Jackie. And those pies looked absolutely incredible. And I love the Crown Royal apple cheesecake and bourbon pecan chocolate pie. I love that she's obviously using those liquors in order to create something for these pies to make them a little bit different. And I just love that.
Right.
For sure. And again, you can look at it. The pie looks great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks really, really awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just her. Well, it looks like it's in a turn-in box. Actually, look at that closely. That's in a turn-in box.
Oh,
you see the foil on the bottom, and that's a turn-in box.
Yeah.
So she's turned in this one before, the Crown Apple
award-winning,
the Crown Royal apple cheesecake, and then on the bourbon pecan chocolate pie. No, that's not in a turn-in box, but so Jackie brought up the desserts as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that I forgot about those, but shout out Jackie one more time. Those looked absolutely incredible. So yes, we're looking forward to everything about it. One of these days we got to do a fried turkey, but I don't know. They seem hard, not hard to do, but like, I don't know. They just seem so dangerous.
Yeah.
It seems so dangerous. Like I can't get over it, but I guess we play with fire all the time.
Right.
Whatever. I don't know.
But so do you have a favorite Thanksgiving memory?
Favorite Thanksgiving memory? Honestly, off the top of my head, no, I don't. I don't have anything that really comes to mind. I think what I can remember about Thanksgiving is just literally always being with mom and dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every Thanksgiving we're always with mom and dad. So, I don't necessarily have anything that comes to mind. No, what about you?
I mean, I honestly don't really remember. The only Thanksgiving I really remember strongly is it was my senior year, and I made Thanksgiving, and Brooke and Molly, they all came over,
Yeah.
and then we were supposed to go Black Friday shopping, and we just passed out, and like we're like, no, we're not going to do this. But
Yeah.
most Thanksgivings, I don't really remember much of them. But what always stands out to me
Mm-hmm.
is the leftovers, and Billy, like he would take like all the things he liked just on a giant like plate or bowl, and I could just picture him like standing in front of the microwave,
Yeah.
you know,
Warming up
pacing, or he's got his headphones on and warming up leftovers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, like, I mean, you have to eat the leftovers, and that was big for us because we made so much food
Yeah.
that we'd have to eat the leftovers. But like he loved them, and I could just still picture it, like him standing there heating
Yeah.
stuff up.
Yeah. Man, I've never liked leftover anything, and you know that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm just like a leftover hater for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, if it comes to like barbecue and stuff, I can do it, but yeah, I don't really have anything. I don't have anything that really comes to mind. Like I said, it's been one of those things where, I mean, I'm just with mom. We're with mom and dad. Well, I've been with mom and dad every Thanksgiving my whole life, and you know, for that, I'm just very I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't have anything. If anything comes to mind, I'll put it in the comments and I'll pin it. But I don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't really. It's hard to even remember things past having kids for me.
Yeah.
But that's what I remember is always the leftovers.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of leftovers for sure, and I don't want them.
Yeah, no. Well,
Don't give them to me.
sometimes I'll do like turkey soup or like a turkey pot pie.
You have done the
but-
turkey pot pie, which turns out good, but there's something about it.
Something about leftover like poultry like
Mm.
bugs me.
Yeah,
that's real
I'm
hard
just
for me.
not into leftovers like at all. So, also one thing before we go, because it's about time to wrap this up. We went to Burnt Bean on Sunday
yeah.
after the competition in Killeen. So what we did was we drove from Killeen to Seguin, stayed the night in Seguin, came home Sunday morning. But before we came home, we stopped at the Burnt Bean for breakfast.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, quite literally, I'm not exaggerating when I say that was probably the best breakfast I've ever had in my entire life.
It was amazing.
Amazing. I had the Casanova. So it's huevos rancheros with brisket, barbacoa. Okay. So picture this. It's 2 crispy corn torts, beans refried on top of that. Oh my gosh, my mouth is literally watering thinking about it. Like literally. The corn torts, refried beans on top of that, a slice of brisket, barbacoa, 2 sunny side up eggs, the ranchero sauce. I don't know really what's in it. I think they put some cheese over top.
I think there was like peppers and onions, weren't there?
Peppers,
There was
onions.
something. Yeah.
Dude, if you guys have not been to Burnt Bean and had the Casanova on Sunday morning, please do it. It was so incredible. So incredible. The night before, when I was telling everybody that I was going, they're like, dude, like, I'm jealous. And then we walked out, we saw Rini Gonzalez Family Barbecue there. So his family got to enjoy that as well. Shout out to Rini. And the owner, one of the owners, Ernest, just such a cool dude.
Mhm.
So I was talking to Bill Purvis the day before in Killeen, and he's like, hey, man, tell Ernest I said hi. So I told you when we were in line, I was like, oh, I forgot. I got to tell Ernest that Bill said hi. And I told Ernest, I was like, hey, man, Bill Purvis told me to tell you hi. And he, like, smiled, right? And he was just like, heck yeah, man, tell him I said hello. And then I like, 20 seconds later, he had to walk to, like, closer to where we were in line again for something. And he asked me, he's like, hey, man, what's going on with Bill's brine? What product is that? What product is Bill releasing? And I said, man, it's a chicken brine, dude. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be good stuff, man. And he was like, oh, that's awesome, dude. You know, happy for Bill or whatever. So, like, if you guys don't know who Ernest was or is, I don't even know if you know.
Yeah.
He was, I mean, back in the day, a bad dude on the scene.
Yeah.
A bad mofo. Apparently, we weren't competing at this time, but, like, he was tearing it up. So, he was just a bad dude on the scene. And now he owns Burnt Bean Co. And that place, and we were talking about it, there's a lot of places in Texas that have great barbecue that we've eaten. This place brings like a different culinary take to it that just is insane to me. Like the culture that they bring, like the Mexican culture, it just, I don't know what it is. It's just so good. Yeah. And even like the time that we went and we just had barbecue, like I was legitimately super impressed. And I walked up to him and I told him, I was like, hey, I just want you to know this is some of the best barbecue I've ever had in my entire life. And I take pride on cooking good barbecue. Just,
Yeah.
So great cooks, great place. If you guys have not been to Burnt Bean Co., consider it heavily.
Oh, you gotta leave with a banana pudding too. I love their banana pudding.
Yeah, the banana pudding's good. I got a lemon cake, which I still haven't cut into.
Yeah.
I need to today. I'll do that today. I'll cut into that lemon cake today. But yeah, so I know that this episode we kind of just talked about whatever. Don't forget all things everything, baby. We wanted to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving, a little bit about what you're looking forward to, and don't forget to drop some comments down below that we can respond to, and we can have a conversation. Hopefully, next week we have a guest. I've been reaching out to a few people to see if they want to be guests on the show, and I've been trying to reach out to some like bigger names, so I haven't gotten any responses yet, but we'll see. Hey, I'm shooting my shot for sure. I'm shooting my shot for sure on some of these. But man, it's all good. If we need to, we'll do another one, just you and I. It's always great sitting down and just talking.
To ask who you.
Yeah. I mean, you can just guess pretty quick who I show.
I don't know, Tim Duncan.
No, like.
Hey, shoot your shot.
No, Malcolm Reed.
Oh yeah.
But I reached out to him and I reached out to Rochelle Reed to see if either of them wanted to be on. Malcolm, I'll talk to you about that one, but Rochelle, no response or anything like that, which again, I'm completely cool with it. I'm telling you, I'm going to shoot my shot, right? I'm going to try. Right. And I think that both of them would be great. Obviously, they'd be great guests, right. And we'll see.
And so, back to CBA real quick, is not this week, but the following week? Or when's the last week for points?
The last week for points, the 25th.
The 25th.
And then after that, we'll know who the number one cook in Texas is.
Yeah, so it might be good for that week to get whoever wins back on.
Well, the next week after we find out who won.
Yeah. And
talk to them and see if they're interested in being on. I'm sure that they're going to have other people asking them too, but we'll definitely reach out to them.
Yeah.
And see if they'd be interested in coming on. It's exciting because it's very, very close between LC Barbecue and My Pits Are Burning.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are cooking really, really good food right now. And yeah, it's going to be an epic finale to the end of the year to see who wins the CBA points chase. And I'm excited to watch it from the sideline. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually kind of excited that we don't have a competition this weekend.
Yeah.
Because we have stuff that we can do. Well, we have stuff we should be doing, and we always neglect it because we're competing. But we're going to get back into the thick of things. We're going to be making content. We're going to be competing. We're going to do everything you guys hopefully love to see from us. And, yeah. Anything else?
I was going to mention, we got our 10 in, and we were hoping to make the
top 50, and we did not.
But what are we at?
So, yeah, we'll talk about it. So, we ended up overall out of... Whoops, dropped my phone. Sorry. So, for Team of the Year, we're done competing this year. So, we can't get any more points unless out of nowhere we just decide that we're going to...
Right.
We ended up 56th. And actually, we were lower than that. Like, we were higher than that. But we keep getting bumped back and back and back. 56th overall. I'll tell you what, and I mean this sincerely, I'm okay with that because there is 449 teams. And we're 56 with 10 registered events.
With our first much full year of...
With our first full year of...
competing.
Yes. Now... the one that I'm proud of, and I didn't even tell you about this, is we are 25th in brisket.
Oh, yeah?
So I think that that's pretty good.
Yeah.
With exactly 10 events, we're 25th in brisket, and our brisket's been good this year. Even with, the last event or two not going the way we wanted it to in brisket. Brisket's our best cook.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got 25th in brisket, and I'm proud of that. So next year we have all year to get 10. You know, so we'll get more than 10 for sure. We will get more than 10, and we'll see where we fall. We're not going to get into a points chase or anything like that. But this year we just wanted to get the 10 and see.
Right.
So 56th overall, over 400 teams, and 25th brisket. The rest of the stuff I haven't really looked at, but, you know. So was there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we let everybody leave?
No? Just make sure to go check out the channel and our website, see what recipes we have on there. We'll definitely get that macaroni out because I think that's a good one
for sure.
For if people are wanting to make that for Thanksgiving. So.
For sure, yeah, we got to do that one pretty quick. So the macaroni will come out, and the biggest thing is everybody have a great Thanksgiving and
have a safe Thanksgiving.
Be very, very please be safe. Please be safe. Just please be safe. Do not drink and drive at any. Just please don't drink and drive. And if you guys need anything and you're local and you know us, reach out to us. We're glad to help. So, what else was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I can't remember. But are we gonna do an episode next week? Because next week is Thanksgiving. Or are we gonna take that week off?
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
We'll play it by ear.
Right.
So we may see you guys next Friday. We may not. We might just be doing Thanksgiving stuff all week and spending time with the family. So we'll kind of just see how it plays out. Do expect the recipe videos. And don't forget, like Sabrina said, check out the website. Check out our channel. We have some old videos on there that are good for Thanksgiving.
For ham as well. We have good ham.
They might not be the best videos ever. I ain't going to lie to you. But they're there. And we're working on it, and we're working on getting better and better every single day. So we appreciate you guys watching or listening. Thank you. Nothing else?
We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.